Man in the world's life works out the dreams of God. The dreams of God being worked out by man in the works he is doing in life. What are the dreams of God? The future possibilities of the Spirit entering into life. That is the main dream of God. Joy, love, beauty, knowledge, power, truth. These are the things which must enter into the works of man. And then only there is a fulfillment of his existence here. Now, this is what is being worked out by man as the present instrument in the hands of the Spirit. But there are problems, there are difficulties. He has the past weighing on his shoulders. He is the product of the past. The baggage of the past he has to carry from life to life. The cosmic karma is there always with him, and unless that is removed, he cannot really make any true progress. Man in the world's life works out the dreams of God, but all is there, even God's opposites. That is the problem. It is not only the angels and the gods and the heavenly beings, the celestial beings, rishis, munis, sages. It is not only that, but there are devils, there are satans, there are hostile forces constantly working in the life of man. But all is there, even God's opposites. They have come into picture. Not that they were created, but in the very nature of things, they have arisen from the inconscient origin of things. He is a little front of nature's works. After all, nature has been striving since the beginning to work out the will of the Spirit in His creation. And she has, in the whole process, arrived at the stage of a mental being, giving to us man, who is actually the bridge between the past and the future. He is a little friend of nature's works, a thinking outline of a cryptic force. He is a mental being, thinking outline, caricature of thought. In fact, even all the worlds of thought, of mind, are not present in the present mental being, that is man. They have yet to enter and manifest. Powers of higher mind, illumined mind, intuition, the spiritual mind, they have not yet come into operation. He is still at a lower mental level. A thinking outline, therefore, is just an outline of a cryptic force, cryptic, mysterious. She has kept everything back, hidden from man. He cannot understand her. But it is she who is really driving things around. Cryptic force, Shakti, the inconscient nature rising from below. It is she, nature, apara, prakriti. It is she who has produced this particular result. All she reveals in him, that is in her. Whatever is present in that prakriti, that lower nature, apara, it is that which she has revealed given to man, shown to him, disclosed in him. Her glories walk in him. Obviously, love, beauty, joy, valor, majesty, vaibhava, all those things are her glories, and they are his gifts from her. And at the same time, her glories walk in him, and her darknesses. Both of them are present simultaneously, light and dark, day and night, gods and hostile forces, hostile beings. Both are present and acting in the life of man. Her glories walk in him, and her darknesses. Man's house of life hosts not the gods alone. Yes, gods certainly are there, but there are also inferior beings, the hostile forces, other beings, satanic forces are there, devious people are there, full of jealousy, hatred, lust, greed, anger, all those things are present in life. There are occult shadows, there are tenebrous powers, dark powers, powers of darkness, occult shadows. That's a very beautiful phrase. Occult, gupta, shadows, chaya, all the chaya beings, all the higher nature are present and they are operating in him. The occult shadows, there are tenebrous powers, inhabitants of lives, ominous, neither rooms. They are occupying the lower worlds, neither rooms, atala, the entire range of the lower creation, sapta patala. They come from them and enter into man's life. Shadowy worlds, stupendous denizens. They are the citizens of this darkness, of this chaya world. They are, in fact, you can say sapta patala if you like, or sapta chaya. 7 grades of chaya are present, and from each domain of the chaya or the shadow, beings enter into the life of man. A careless guardian of his nature's powers, man harbors dangerous forces in his house. He does not know, but they are present in him. All these dangerous forces are present in him. He is not even aware of them. When and how, for what purpose, they will spring up, they will jump up, they will attack him. He has no knowledge of it. He cannot have knowledge of that thing because he is simply a small little thinking outline of the entire operation of nature. The lower nature has all those worlds present in her. And man harbors dangerous powers, forces in his house. The Titan and the Fury and the Jinn lie bound in the subconscious cavern pit, and the beast grovels in the antler den. Dire mutterings rise and murmur in their drowse. This is a very ghastly picture, very frightful picture of what man is facing. Well, actually, all these beings are present in us. Perhaps they are not present in us in that magnitude. Titan and Fury and Jinn, in that full power in us. We are small little creatures. But this is what Savitri is seeing in her dream consciousness. She is seeing the cosmic past. She is not seeing the past of you and me as individuals. Perhaps these frightful figures, they don't even bother us. They are not concerned in that sense. There are smaller people, smaller deities, smaller deputies of them who will come and trouble us. But these are beings operating at the cosmic level, the Titan and the Fury and the Jinn, only for great people who bring about transformative actions in the working of nature. It is they who face these powers. Buddha faced Mara. It is at that level things happen, not for us. People do great sadhana, great tapasya and all that. They are also affected to some extent by this. But this is on a cosmic scale that Savitri is seeing things happening. Her soul, her vision, her work is on the cosmic plane. And in the underworlds of the cosmos, these are the beings who are present. And she has to deal with them. Unless she deals with them, she cannot really meet the greatest being for which she has come to conquer, whom she has come to conquer, death, Yama. She has to face finally Yama. So in comparison with Yama, these are relatively small creatures, Titans and Fury and the Jinn. Now, Titans are the primeval gigantic powers. Normally, they are famous in the Greek mythology. There were 12 Titans who ruled the ancient world. First, 12 Titans. They are powers of great strength, great might, great will, great force. And it is under the sway that the entire creation went on. Later on, these 12 Titans were defeated by the younger gods, the Olympians. And it is the reign of Olympians that had brought out in a visible manner, in a visible sense, the Greek civilization. So these Titans are the original primeval powers of the vital nature who are operating in the world. And they are presenting, they had to be defeated by these younger gods. In that sense, one can again go back to the opening line of Savitri. It was the hour before the gods awake. These Olympian gods, they were not yet awake. Who was ruling then at the time? The Titans. These Titans were ruling the entire world, the creation, and the gods were helpless. But when the younger gods awoke, then things started changing. So in that sense, the first line itself brings out all these aspects of the lower nature in a very powerful, very forceful manner. It was the hour before the gods awake. Before the gods awake, who were present? The Titans. And they had to be defeated. Kronos, Zeus' father himself, he had to defeat his father and take the kingdom into his possession, so that wisdom, light, higher quality of the spirit can come into the world's play. So these Titans, this is what Savitri is seeing at that origin. The Titan, the Fury, they become angry. They will not allow you to carry out any ill will. They will pounce upon you. They will kill you, they will murder you, they will snatch you away. Fury's anger. Same with the jinns. Jinns basically belong to the Arabic tradition, Jinnai. From the brass lamp, old brass lamp, you rub it and the Jinnai appears. And he will fulfill your 3 wishes. Whatever you had 3 wishes, he will grant you the boon of 3 wishes. You can ask for whatever you like and he will do everything for you. Because the Janai who was trapped in the lamp has been freed by you. And then he will grant you. Later on, of course, he will swallow you also, perhaps. See. So, these are the jinns. It was only Solomon, King Solomon, the wise one, who rubbed the lamp and the Janai would have come and killed him. But he didn't do that. He took that lamp and threw away into the sea so that the jinn, the Janai, whatever, was permanently drowned into the sea. He could not become free, see. So these are the fearful powers residing in the underworld, and Savitri is seeing all those things. The Titan and the Fury and the Jinn lie bound in the lamp. They are now trapped permanently in the bottle or whatever you call it. They are permanently trapped there. The subconscient cavern pit in the lower nature, subconscious is what Savitri is saying, subconscient. And the beast grovels in the anther den. Beast, B capital. It is the full animal force, vital force which is in operation. And he is groveling. He is crouching on the floor and entering into his den, enter into his den, into his cave, into his recess, where he stays, like a lion who goes and stays into his cave. It is that beast who is now entering into his cave. And the beast grovels in his anther den. Dire mutterings rise and murmur in the drowse. So Savitri is really seeing a very fearful picture of all the Titan and the Fury and the Jinn lie bound in the subconscious cavern the pit, and the beast grovels in his anther den. Dire mutterings rise and murmur in their drowse. So it's a very fearful picture actually. While Titan and Fury and Jinn, we also have in the Indian tradition similar beings, Asura, Rakshasa, Pishacha. They're all there, present in the subconscious. Asura, the mental power, Rakshasa, the vital power, Pishacha, the lower subconscious power. They are there, always present in the subconscious. And it is these Asuras and Rakshasas and Pishacha which the rishis had to face. The Asuras would go and destroy them, destroy the tapasya, spoil them. Of course, they are very powerful beings, and the famous example is, of course, the example of Ravana himself. His son, Indrajit, was also equally powerful. They are the Asuras, they are present. In fact, the whole of Ramayana is a story not on the human plane. Although the human element is present there, is the occult plane. The battle is constantly being waged in the occult. All these are beings who are opposing the further advance of evolution. And it is Rama who has to clear them all so that the mental being can come here and be safe. Otherwise, they will just be swallowed. See? So, in fact, that is the background, that is the way to understand Ramayana. Hanuman, they are all beings of a different order, of a different world. Although we think as if they were living amongst us. In fact, There is a very peculiar kind of a mental attitude amongst us. They say that, oh, these people, Vanaras, how can we be friendly with Vanaras, with friends like that? That is what the modern mind thinks. These fellows had lost their head and they don't know what this is. So they started rationalizing it. Perhaps in those very, very good old days, those creatures were advanced and they used to tie something like a rope on their waist, which looked like a tail, and that was used as a weapon for the battle. That is how the modern rational mind rationalizes Vanaras. But actually, Vali, Sugriva, Jambuvanta, all these names, they themselves tell you, look, they belong to a different occult world, or the vital world, and the battle is actually in the occult. Rama was fighting in fact the battle in the occult, and his victory is in the occult. That we generally miss. So the Titan and the Fury and the thing lie bound in the subconscious cavern pit, and the beast grovels in his ant den. Dire mutterings rise and murmur in the drowse. Insurgent sometimes raises its huge head, a monstrous mystery lurking in life's deeps, the mystery of dark and fallen worlds, the dread visages of the adversary kings. The dreadful powers held down within his depths, within the depths of man, the dreadful powers held within his depths, become his masters or his ministers. Enormous, they invade the body house. Enormous, they invade his bodily house. Can act in his acts, infest his thought and life. This is the kind of a mischief they will constantly keep on playing. The dreadful powers can act in his acts, in man's acts. He doesn't know. He thinks that he is acting, but there is some other person who is actually acting in him, within him. Infest his thought. He is possessed. He is instigated. He is meant to think that way, and his life and every action now gets governed by them. The greatest example is, of course, the example of Hitler. As a person, he was a very small creature, but as an instrument of the hostile power, what the mother had called the Lord of Nations, he was a perfect instrument. He would obey him in every respect. Whatever he was commanded to do by him, that he would carry out. And it is because of he being the instrument, a perfect instrument of the Lord of Nations, that he could win in the early phases of the Second World War. Victory after victory came to him. But only when a divine force to counter that action came into full sway, that the tide turned. And then finally he had to disappear. So as far as Hitler is concerned as a being, he was a very small creature, but he was a good instrument for the Lord of Nations work, and he did that thing. Can act in his acts. This is what happens, this is what these people do. Can act in his acts, infest his thought and life, he carries all his life in that manner. We don't know whether we are doing things out of our free will, of our own choice, or whether somebody else is acting from behind and think that it is, oh, I am doing all those things. That is the kind of illusion we generally have. The only safety for us, the guarantee, the assurance, the protection for us is the psychic being. If our psychic being comes forward, and if we are quiet, receptive, calm, to listen to the voices of the psychic being, then we are safe. Then these hostile powers cannot do any mischief at all to us. The dreadful powers held down within his depths become his masters or his ministers. Enormous, they invade his bodily house, can act in his acts, infest his thought and life. Infernal surges into the human air and touches all with a pervading breath. So everything becomes an inferno, jwala, or the lower nature, or the hell. It is that which spreads around and pervades everything. Now this is the kind of the picture Savitri is seeing when she has entered into the dream consciousness. She has to see many more things, but this is just the first entry of us into this vital nature, and all the powers of the vital nature are in full operation here. She has to know these things. Unless she knows them, unless she conquers them, wins the victory over them, she cannot proceed further. So that is what is buried in our past, in our bhuta, in our consciousness of the lower nature in terms of our daily activities.